My name is Eduardo Vandenberg, and this paper was organized by Flávia Siqueira based on the Lucas Calazan's thesis with Renato Furtado and Vilani Carneiro collaboration, all they part of the lab that I coordinate. Most of tropical pastures harbors scattered trees that are mostly remnant of the original forest cleared for economic use. Those trees are left mostly because of the shade they provide to the cattle. They are also known to stimulate forest recovery after termination of human activities. We were interested about the importance of those trees for species diversity conservation. We want to know how much of diversity is preserved among the scattered trees, how important they are for forest restoration in pastures, and why the trees are kept in the pastures. Only a small fraction of the original Atlantic forest is still standing, mostly as small forest remnants. Those forest fragments are mostly surrounded by pastures with scattered trees. We surveyed all trees in 11 pastures and in 6,200 square meter plots within 8 forest remnants in south of Minas Gerais state, Brazil. We classified all the sampled trees according to their functional traits. We also sampled the seed rain under the scattered trees and in areas without those trees. We sampled saplings in plots with scattered trees and in plots without those trees in increasing distances from the forest edges. We interviewed landowners, trying to understand how they choose the standing trees during the forest clearing, and if those people realize any ecosystem service provided by those trees. We also evaluate the effect of the grass cover on the saplings and the effect of the scattered trees on soil compaction, air temperature, and air moisture and their combined effect on the saplings. We found a surprisingly high number of species among the scattered trees. This number was similar to the number of species found within the forest fragments. However, the trees in the pastures were larger than the trees within the forest fragments. The differences in terms of species composition between the pastures and the forest fragments were mostly related to the smaller trees. We found that the landowners choose the standing trees based mainly on their size and shading ability. However, other factors like legal protection and aesthetics were also important. We found only 13 species regenerating in the pastures, mostly under the scattered trees. However, many more species are able to arrive there. The scattered trees improve the microclimate and reduce soil compaction. Finally, we found that the presence of scattered trees matters for species richness and saplings number. The effect on the numbers was strongly dependent on the distance from the next forest fragment. Grass cover also affects negatively both richness and number of saplings. Summarizing our results, we found that the scattered trees retain large species diversity, and they also promote tree recruitment in the pastures and are potentially important for forest recovery. As next steps, we'd like to investigate how the scattered trees communities change along the time and also how they affect gene flow through these highly modified ecosystems.